Hello, everyone. My name is Tighearnach Shaughnessy. My pronouns are they, them. I am a part of the congregation at Temple Bat Yam, and I completed my conversion this last December with a dip in the mikveh at this university. As you know, I've been asked to tell you about my conversion process as a non-binary Jew by choice. I had quite an easy time figuring out the pros to tell you and a hard time figuring out any cons, which is an excellent problem to have. My sponsoring rabbi, Rabbi Gersh Zilberman, did an excellent job. He's among those on Zoom. But rest assured, if I had any real problems, it wouldn't be news to him. I am nothing short of opinionated, and that is not a secret. As for my conversion journey itself, I have had a long road leading me home, and it has been tied closely to my gender identity as well. It's what I like to call my Goldilocks journey. I had to study a lot of different faiths before I found my way home to Judaism. That journey started when I was 8 years old and diagnosed with ovarian cancer. When you are faced with your own mortality at such a tender age, you start to seek out ways of understanding as to why this bad thing happened to you. I'm happy to say 25 years as of this November, I am cancer-free, in case anyone was worried. This experience is inherently tied to my conversion process, but also to my gender identity itself, because when your reproductive organs try to kill you, and those same organs are inherently tied to a gender identity specifically, that's bound to complicate things. So towards the end of that journey, I found my way to TBY and Rabbi Gersh. I chose Reform for many reasons, but one of those was because the only temples around me with an open and clear welcome to LGBTQIA Jews on their websites were Reform. That may be different outside of my area, of course. There's always outliers, and we are not a monolith. But the first thing I would suggest to further foster a safe space is to just double check and ensure your websites have some form of confirmation that says you will be welcome, valued, and safe here. I could honestly wax poetic forever about Rabbi Gersh and how he handled affirming my identity throughout my conversion. From our first meeting, he handled the circumcision conversation as respectfully as he could. And I was able to inform him that I am assigned female at birth, and that was a non-issue. And anytime I had a question or concern, he was honest with me and made sure I knew I had an ally in him. And most importantly, when he didn't know about something I was talking about regarding gender, he asked, and then he listened when I explained. He genuinely wished to learn and understand. And when you genuinely want to understand, we can tell. And that's a good thing. You see, we don't need immediate understanding. We know that sometimes education is still needed, but what matters is the attempt and the honest and genuine wish to know more. Even mishaps with pronouns are generally okay if you just apologize, correct yourself, and move on. And don't make a huge issue out of it. Mistakes happen, it's fine. My mikveh was handled beautifully as well, as I was able to request a gender identity for my mikveh witness, and I requested a non-binary person who was assigned female at birth like me. It was very special for the both of us, as they are a rabbinical student, and I was their first conversion they were witnessing. It was with me, a fellow non-binary person. Now, I really had to nitpick to find any cons with my own personal conversion. And even then I wound up outsourcing to my friends to bring something constructive to the table. I have a humble following on TikTok, and so I polled trans and non-binary Jews on what they'd like me to say to a room full of rabbis who want to learn. So for me, it might have been nice to have pronouns established as something the congregation was already exchanging and talking about before I got there. That's by no means a deal breaker, but it just would have made life a little easier. Everybody uses pronouns. People just take that for granted until someone comes along with different ones. As for my friends, I have a few things they wanted me to say. Firstly, trans feminine converts, trans women, have a lot of struggles when it comes to circumcision, mitzvot, and the expectations often put on them. They're women. And so being expected to do things men would do is deeply upsetting and also, honestly, detrimental to their mental health. It's to the point that I've seen friends give up their conversion process because of how damaging to their mental health it was. I don't have a halakhic resolution to this, but I think I'm in the right room to be posing this conversation to. Additionally, my intersex and two-spirited friends pointed out that the labels of transgender and non-binary are umbrella terms. And not everyone uses those umbrella terms, but they still are in our group and sit at the table to have the conversations we have. It's a complex thing, so just when in doubt, just ask someone what labels they use or prefer. In review, being understanding, respectful, and curious are good things. And I've found Jews are very good at wanting to learn and being genuine in that when it comes to my own gender identity and the conversations I've had. When in doubt, just ask if something is okay or if a workaround needs to be found. And most importantly, if you are sponsoring a trans or non-binary conversion student, make sure they understand that you are not only there to guide them and teach them, but you're also there to be a safe space for them if issues do come up. Thank you for your time, and thank you for coming here to learn about this.